Hi, June 11th, 2024. This is Bob from the Two Old Guys Garage with the Anglia Street Rod project. I just filmed part 28 and put it on YouTube about an hour or two ago. And in that I talked about changing the throw-up bearing on the T10 to a hydraulically slave cylinder type. And I decided to go ahead and stop talking about it and do it. So, step one, car is jacked up on 4 stands. And a little later in the day, and got some other crap going on. So, I'm going to wait till tomorrow and I'm going to start tearing it apart. First thing will be the seats come out. And then the carpeting and the insulation, and then the floorboards, blah 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 blah, and then underneath drive shaft, and then from the top pull that puppy out and see what we got. Alright, so this is the end of segment 1 of this, and I'll catch you later, segment 2. Take care. Thank you. Bye bye. Hi, Bob from the Two Old Guys Garage on part 1, segment 2 of getting the transmission out to change the throw-up bearing to hydraulic type. There is the seats and the trim and crap and shit. So next I'm going to start pulling the floor carpet out, and then will be the floor carpet and the insulation. Then we'll be starting to look at what floorboards I need to take out to get at the transmission. I'll be back in a bit. Pausing here. Take care. Bye. Hi. Back. Got the carpet out. That took a while. Kajillion black anodized Phillips head washer screws used to hold the carpet down tight in various different spots, and a lot of them. Okay, next step is to get the insulating foil out of there, and then I'm going to go for the floorboards. Okay, be back. Pausing again. Hey, I'm back. All right, floor mats out. The foil insulation is out, and the transmission fiberglass cover is off. The foil was attached when I did that with stainless steel staples, and as usual I used a lot of them to make sure it stayed down flat. So it took a while to get that up, and there it is. 63 Corvette T10, code A, close ratio. And I think I'm going to knock off for today because basically I'm pooped. And the garage, which has no air conditioning, is 90 degrees. Hot enough. I'm going to break for lunch, get caught up, and I will return tomorrow for segment 3 to continue to get access to pull that transmission out for the hydraulic clutch bearing change and flywheel check and clutch check, etc., 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 ad nauseum. Okay, that's it. I'll see you tomorrow. Take care. Bye-bye. Hi there. This is June 15th, 2024, and this is Bob from the Two Old Guys Garage working on my 32 coupe with the clutch shifting problem, with the intent to put on a clutch hydraulic slave cylinder throw-up bearing instead of the rig that I have with a standard fork. Yesterday was a lost day. I had ordered a throw-up bearing slave cylinder from Summit locally here, not too far away, and it's a Hayes 82-100. Which advertises with pictures and installation and everything that the end of the shaft has a snap ring as a safety feature to prevent the throw-up bearing from moving too far. and coming discombobulated, which would require pulling the transmission out to fix it. And I thought it was worth the extra money, the cost to get that one. Well, the part arrived the day before yesterday, and no snap ring on the end of the shaft. Smooth bore, never been machined. So I went down to Summit yesterday morning, and after a debacle with the customer service, who didn't understand what I was saying, finally they come out with accidentally 2 other ones from stock, and neither one of those had the retaining ring on the end of the sliding shaft. So for almost $300, I said, well, I'm not going to go with this, and I got a refund. Then I spent the afternoon going back over my research and ended up going for the Speedway one. And that's another story too, but that's coming. So in the meantime, I did come out, couldn't stand it, although it was hot. I come out to work some more on taking the floorboards out, and got kind of stalled with the front passenger quarter panel. The reason being that I originally did the floorboards in July of 1960, and at the time I did the, let me change this for a second. I did the flat bottom pieces first, then the front cross piece, and then the quarter panel. So the quarter panels go over this, and originally went over this. Well, in '77, I rebuilt these and did these as a butt, and these as a butt, so that I could pull these out independent of going all through that. Well, that's fine, but now that I got to take this guy out to get at the bell housing, this panel is actually installed in '65. I put that heater in, and that heater actually overlaps this, so I can't get this out without messing with the heater. So you can see here that yesterday afternoon I started to try to grind this out, and then I'm going to continue to cut around that piece and pull this out. In fact, this being from July 1960, it's kind of beat to shit, so I'll probably redo this piece anyway since it's out, which is the way things go with these cars. One thing leads to another, whether you like it or not. So I'm going to pause this recording, and I'm going to, before it gets too hot here in the garage, another warm day today, I'm going to continue to cut around this and get this puppy out so I can get this guy off and expose the bell housing. Been a while since I've seen it, but I'll take care of that, hopefully, by today. Get back to you later. Thank you. Hey, back. Okay, I got the panel out. Those are the heater hoses that run down alongside the right frame rail and up through that piece. I'm going to have to redo the heater mount, get that piece of plywood out of there, and I can't get to the back and the screws are turning, so I've been grinding them off. And the last couple of years when I do new hardware, I typically use stainless steel, so I'll stainless steel that, and I'll probably put some sort of a rubber, instead of this plywood, I'll probably put some sort of a rubber brace between here and here to kind of take care of some vibration, and then use a lock nut probably on the outside so that I can squeeze the rubber the right amount. The heater hoses, as I said earlier, the heater was installed in '65, and if you look at this, there's absolutely no give on the heater hoses, so obviously, as hard as they are to get to, I'm going to have to replace those heater hoses. Just another thing to get anything done. But as you can see, I got the panel off. There's the bell housing and access to the bolts. And there's the old T10. And when I got the car, many things have been done that I would have done maybe differently. One is that the front firewall is a smooth piece of steel, kind of flat steel. And what I didn't want to do was screw it all up by adding stuff, so I made a secondary plywood firewall, and then carried in and made studs for power and studs for ground, and ended up wiring everything inside. It looks kind of messy, but hey, it was 1960, so it's still working, no problems. Let's see, everything's accessible. I'm not sure, but I may be able to pull the transmission out without screwing with the side floorboards. Hopefully that's true. Might have to take the linkage off on the left side of her shifter. We'll see. At any rate, it's close to midday here. The garage is heated up, uncomfortably so, or approaching that. And to boot, my wife has put me on notice that she does not want to leave her car outside in the driveway baking in the heat. Yeah, well, tough shit. That's why I wanted a 3-car garage and didn't get one. Anyway, here's the piece that come out on the side. And what's interesting is if you look at this piece, the tilted cross floorboard with the pedals and the gas pedals actually mounts. This is a support for it. So from the looks of that, then I did not have to take this out, but it's just as well. I mean, it's pretty shoddy. I'll just make a new piece and put that back in. The other thing is it exposes the heater hoses, which ultimately will be a problem. Here's the 2 hoses that feed down alongside the frame wheel, and then about here somewhere in the past, in fact I can feel them, the hoses near, because of the engine heat of course, deteriorate quicker than the rest of them. So I had spliced in connections here and renewed the hoses. Well, you can see this. These hoses are so actually when I do the replacement of the heater hoses, all I got to do is get down to this splice, and from the splice back to the heater, put in the new hoses. So I think that's about it for now. You gotta love your hot rod. I'm bleeding for it. Slipped a little bit. Got some shit. Gotta go in, cool off, finish drinking my coffee, and update my logbook. So, sayonara till the next segment. Let me kill the lights here, grab my coffee, and say goodbye, you all. Catch you tomorrow, maybe, if I'm lucky. Hi there. It's July 15, Saturday. This is part 1 of the 2 Old Guys Garage Bob's 32 Coupe, continuing with the hydraulic shifting issue. Some corrections. The last segment 3 filmed yesterday, I said it was 15th, but it wasn't. It was the 14th. Anyway, that's a correction. And then let me show you what I've done this morning. And the garage is already almost 90 degrees, so I'm going to knock off before long. Anyway, if you look here, I had to cut this hardware off because it was from the back side of this frame. And again, July 65, but it had slotted screws, which of course I can't hold very good trying to undo them, so I had to cut them off. Anyway, that's new stainless hardware that's been lock nutted to this to convert them into studs. And then if you look here, this is a piece of canvas rubber material that I've cut to use as a spacer, and then I'll put washers and nylock nuts on the outside. For now, I'm gonna stop screwing around with the heater. I ordered 10 feet of 5/8 heater hose. You can see how hard that is. Anyway, I'm not going to mess around with doing the heater hose until I'm on the backside putting things together. And let's talk about the clutch. On this, excuse me, on this side where normally the clutch throw bearing goes in American cars, this bell housing from General Motors was cast to be symmetrical in use for cars shipped to the United Kingdom. So when I was doing the T10, I noticed that in the casting there was a hole for this and there was a hole for the ball joint that pivots on the clutch fork arm. So I reversed it over. And then I took a piece of heavy channel iron and cut it and made a bracket. And you can see tucked down in there is the slave cylinder. In fact, I don't know if you can see that. Maybe not, too dark. Anyway, so the master cylinder over there works the slave cylinder on the other side. And like I said earlier, I think it was fine when I first did it, but in recent years it's got tougher and tougher to shift, and I suspect that the splines are dry. Anyway, we'll know soon. So I'm gonna stop messing with the heater and continue to working on taking the transmission out and examining the spline. But I don't think I'm going to do it today. It's a little bit on the hot side. So let me finish up by showing you something over here without tripping on my ass. Okay, the throwout bearing missing the slip ring. If you look here, that's what the part's supposed to look like. And this is from Summit, and there's the snap ring on the end of the throwout shaft. This is the same part from Hayes' website at Holley, because Holley owns Hayes along with a million other companies. And again, snap ring on their thing. If I move it down here, these are the words that are at Holley, and what I'm underlining is a snap ring on the front of the piston prevents over travel, keeps from pushing the bearing off the sleeve. Well documented. I go down to here, this is what I received. No snap ring, no machine groove for snap ring, and when I went down there yesterday, or whatever it was, the day before I guess, to Summit, 2 more of these were pulled out of stock. They were only supposed to pull 1, but by mistake they pulled 2. And all 3, including this one, no groove, no snap ring. So, Chinese counterfeit parts? Don't know. Chinese quality control? Don't know. But I'm relatively certain that that ring is supposed to be there. And, oh, by the way, we'll see the forthcoming clutch slave cylinder hydraulic bearing from Speedway actually talks and shows that it has a snap ring on the end to prevent over travel. Well, we'll see. That's due Tuesday, the 18th. So we'll see when that comes in. Anyway, I'm going to cut this short because I'm hot. I'm tired already. And what I'm going to do is go across the street to Lowe's. And I'm going to pick up a piece of 1/4-inch plywood so that I can remake that piece on the right. Anyway, that's it. So, thank you all. Catch you all later. This is the end of segment 4. Bye-bye. Hello. June 17th, 2024. Bob from the Two Old Guys Garage, the Anglia project. Still working on my coupe. This morning I took the drive shaft out and disconnected the T10 transmission rear motor mount. There's the 2 bolts sitting there. And I got a jack under the pan to lift it up. And I just tried a little bit of lift up and it didn't go good. It doesn't want to move. So I'm going to loosen the front motor mounts, and I'll probably have to take and disconnect the headers That's about it. It's a little shorty. I'll append it. This is part 1, segment 5 of the 32 coupe hydraulic throat slave cylinder bearing, which is supposed to be in the next couple of hours. So if it comes in, I'll tag it on to the end of this, and you can take a look at it together with me. In the meantime, I'm going to sign off with this one. I may be back, may not be back. See you in a bit. Bye-bye. Hi, I'm back. It's been about an hour or so since the last piece of the video, and the part came in from Speedway about 10 minutes ago. And lo and behold, look at that. There's a snap ring on the end of it. And there's a rubber O-ring on the inside, which I forgot to mention that was true also of the haze part. And it came with shims, 2 different threaded size guide pins depending on what your transmission threads are, and a 12-inch external bleed hose, which will actually go on this one when I take that off. Or yeah, this one, because when it's installed on the shaft, the bleed hole naturally wants to be on the upper position so air will come out. So, well, look, I dropped the shims. Anyway, so that's good. I just talked to Lou. He had a call into the source for the Anglia doors, and no one was there to answer. So we still don't know anything about what's happening with the doors. So with that, I'm going to close this out, and I'm going to go in. I'm going to publish this. Part 2 will be coming along as soon as I get that stupid transmission out. Catch you later. Take care, everybody. Bye-bye.